the purpose of the mind. People want to know, like, why? This mind causes all this trouble and everything. Like, what the hell? Can't we just be without the mind? You could, but then you wouldn't know you existed. And then you'd miss everything. You'd miss all the fun and watching all the non-dual oaks talk and making fun and miss all that, you know? Mind gives the ability, this is an important software program in this virtual matrix that we're in, the mind. The mind gives the ability, the capacity to perceive others. Actually, it gives you the ability to perceive yourself, individual self, which then allows you to perceive others. They go together. If there were no others, there would be no you. If there's no you, there'd be no others, right? Mind is the high-tech software program that allows that. So that is what allows this whole journey for us to embark on of awakening. It's like, if there's only white, nobody knows. There's no like, you know, like, how do you know it's white? There needs to be at least a tad of another color, a tad of blue or something. And then the white can see the white. It's like, whoa, I see white. But that's the key word there, tad. You see, this is the awakening journey. At first, it's not a tad. Let's say the pure self is pure white, and the tad of blue I'm talking about, that's the ego. That's the individual sense of self and the mind, etc. At first, when we start this journey, it's like the opposite. It's like a tad of white and then totally blue, which is mind and ego and identity. It's not really like that. The white is still the all-pervasive factor, but it's unrecognized. See, that's the other thing. We need mind and ego to recognize our pure nature, our pure self. So at first, the ego and the mind, let's say that's the shade or the tad of blue, that's like predominant. Through the awakening journey, that starts to dissolve, it starts to like thin out, and then what's left is the white, which is our pure nature. And then the fragrance from that realization is more of a sense of contentment, balance, peace, etc. And we like that. But you see, we couldn't experience that if we didn't have the mind. And we didn't have the you can say, false sense of ego self. It's only false in the sense is that that's not permanent and it didn't create the pure self. That's all that it means when I say false. The pure self can exist without the ego and the mind, but not vice versa. So therefore, technically, the ego self is false. But not really, because it's the essence of the ego in mind is still pure consciousness or the pure self. So let's not get too caught up on the words. We're using words to point and make a distinction. So the mind is a great tool. Once we're free of the abusive, debaucherous nature that the mind can, cause us to experience, when that's less or thinned out, then it's like you appreciate the mind because you see what it's here for. You see the tool that it serves for the pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is creative by nature. But it can't create anything or experience anything if it doesn't first create an individual sense of itself. It has to create that first, and then from there, infinite levels of creation can be created. So, how to transcend the mind? That's another video though, isn't it? This video is about like what the purpose of the mind is. I think I shared what the purpose of the mind is. I might experiment here making a shorter video and just see. I've never made a so-called shorter video. Usually all my videos are at least 10 minutes or so. So let's see what happens. We're gonna make it at 5 minutes. Let's see what the algorithm does. That's a whole nother deal. Like getting, YouTube's a trip. I'll just tell you that. I'm glad the cosmic algorithm supersedes the the internet algorithm. See, people they focus too much on the internet algorithm, and I'm like, man, you gotta trust the universe. Universal algorithms taking care of all this. Like, you gotta do that. All right, let's see.